Hello, everyone. This is, as you can see, I'm in a new setting, very different looking setting. I decided to sit outside in front of where I live, because I've been contemplating some things that have been a bit odd and hard to understand, and some regrets I have. As I talked about in the last video, I talked about anxiety and how I've been progressing with from healing from my flares with my disease. Which good news, I'm doing so much better. And my skin is my original color is coming back. The pink and the discolored places and blemishes are starting to fill in. You can still obviously see them on me if you were to see me bare or see me with my top off, my pants off, but they're filling in, so that's really good. I'm very thankful for that. And I've been taking time to rest and be in my thoughts, but also just heal, not just physically, but also mentally. I've been praying. I've kind of been in the Bible, listening to different people. I've also been doing some like self-study and trying to do work on my skills as I'm not working, or at least I don't have. I'm working, but I don't have not doing work that actually like makes money apart from DoorDash, and I'm still dependent on my mom financially. I'm still living in our house, so it's like I still have that going on. But other than that, I'm really thankful for where I am, and I'm really grateful that I can still be with my parents and have them take care of me while I am in this season. And I'm very grateful for. And I mean, at the age of 23, and a lot of people don't have that opportunity, don't have that the ability to, well, don't have access to their family or don't have access to someone who can help them and who could take care of them while they are in a season in which they either can't work or they're sick or they just need a long break. I am currently looking for work and I'm still applying to jobs. And I also have even recently heard of something new showing up. So that could happen. Do I know what's going to happen with it or not? No, it's very, very recent, but I'm just seeing and hoping that maybe it go through while I also apply to other jobs in the meantime as well. And I'm really thankful for this opportunity, at least in this way, because I've never had it happen in that way before. So I might say something about it later in a different time. And I've been able to see family and speak to them. I've been able to hang out with my best friend. And it's one best friend I have. She lives 5 minutes away from me, so it's been really cool to be able to hang out with her during this summer. And it's cool to have someone my age in a similar situation to me, which we could help each other out, because even when we both were employed, we were still helping each other out. We were still hanging out with each other, still being friends and learning from each other. So that's been really, really great. I'm really thankful for her as well. And I do get, and I do, I'm kind of quiet because of something that happened, not just today and the past week. It's something I'm reminded of. I got into a competition with my sister and my mom today. And I kind of went and kind of rebuked something my sister, rebuked something my sister did about what something she said. Mind you, she was correct, and I thought I acknowledged that, and I said I knew she was correct. But it was the way she said it to my mother that I found disrespectful now. Disrespectful. Was it actually disrespectful? I don't really know. I may not be. I may have been wrong on that, which is why I'm sitting here like a little worried, because I'm thinking, what if I was wrong? It was. I don't remember exactly how she said it. Until she repeated it. But nonetheless, regardless of how she said it, she was right. And she also, after realizing the context, have context, some context was not given, was not, revealed to someone, just realized, oh shoot, well, I said it because I didn't know that this, it was just, how you have a conversation where certain things are not communicated properly, and someone says something without knowing that the other person did not hear a certain piece of information, or else they would have said something. That's basically what happened. I don't want to get too much into it because just to not like out them. Plus, it's about something very serious. But I knew my sister was right. I just didn't. I just didn't think she said it. Her delivery just was not. I didn't deem it appropriate to say to your parent. And in fact, my mom also knows she's right too. Both my mom and I know she was right. It was just how. And now I don't know anymore. I just know I wouldn't have said it like that myself, because she's right. This definitely is. And in the name of respecting and honoring your parents, that's something that's really important to me. Also was ingrained in us since childhood, especially like what generally speaking, most parents ingrain that as children, respect and honoring your parents. But especially as someone who grew up in the church, it is, it's a command. It's in there. And even though it's a command, and even though it's something that we're called to do, it's something that I find very difficult. In a situation, I basically tried to correct my sister, but I also knew that she was also right at the same time. It was more about delivery and tone than it was about what she said, because what she said still stands. But it also opened up the idea of the fact that there are things that I want to say, there's some truths, things that are true, things that are relevant, that I wish I could say to my parents, but out of fear of disrespecting them or dishonoring them, I don't say it. Because I actually didn't know how to say it without the fear of being punished or the fear of being rebuked for saying what I said, even if I knew I was correct. And in some cases, later on the line, my parents actually acknowledge when they do, which I mean, it takes it could take a long time. Sometimes it takes a very long time for them to acknowledge it. But when they finally acknowledge it, I'm just like, I'm like thinking, wow, even they see that they were wrong. They see that my perspective is actually correct, because there's some things, sometimes parents make these mistakes, as parents don't actually think things through. And so I'm like, that's great. I feel good. Okay, at least I honor and respect my parents. But that also means I'm holding back on certain things that need to be said, and that actually can cause harm, because I don't get the help I need, and my sister especially does not get the help that she needs. My brother as well don't get the help they need because we're too afraid to say anything. In the name of honor and respect, I believe that we should honor and respect our parents, but I also believe that our parents should be open to how the things affect people. I just know we just like those things both can be true. It's just hard to be able to let our parents know things, or get like help try to explain ourselves to our parents without it being seen as disrespect. Which is why it's better, or it's why the way I've been operating is that it's better not to say a word at all until it's too late, and then I really do have to say something. And by the time I do say something, or my sister says something, my brother says something, the damage has already been done. Because we're not confident in saying what we actually mean and what we actually need. Especially what we want. What we want, we're just like not saying it at all. Or we've learned to just not say it, because why even bother? But even when it comes down to needs, sometimes our needs, things that we actually need, we actually depend on, that our parents know we need, we're too afraid to ask, too afraid to mention. And I see how that has actually hurt us far more than it needed to. My parents, they're not trying to ignore us. They're not trying to not take care of us. If anything, they work really hard to, very, very hard to. But not everything, especially in the way the world is right now, with the economy and with the state of mind of a lot of people, especially with around social media, around fears, with the wars going on, with all of the political unrest in many countries. And even if it may not seem in the United States, even if it may not seem like we're as bad as other countries, we got some issues, some very serious issues. And even if my family, we're not in the middle of that issue at all, no, but you never know. Anything could change. No one's immune to warfare or psychological torment, or no one's immune to discrimination. Anyone can be discriminated at any point. Anyone can become homeless. Anyone can die at any moment. Anyone can get injured. Anyone can get sick. And the reality, it doesn't matter how rich or how poor you are, no one's actually immune. And so there's a lot of things that people worry about, a lot of isolation and stuff like that. And so, and I acknowledge that my parents are still providing and still working hard through all of that while having 3 kids that are dependent on them. And it feels weird because us 3 kids were the youngest one here graduated high school. None of us have a job. I used to have a job. I had a job for 3.5 years, and I actually do technically have a role right now. I'm just not making money off of it yet. I just get sometimes I get a gift from somebody, from the person I work with, because the person's actually a family member, and then who works with the other business partners, and we all work in, we're all part of a consortium. So it's a brand that's been around for 4 years, and they have clients. It's kind of a not-for-profit brand, if you get what I mean. So we're actually in the works trying to get to a point where we may get investors and make it be able to generate some income and then take that income and take that profit. It's because I say not for profit when we're out of profit. That's how it was established. But eventually, we want to actually be able to make money while having the clients spend nothing or little to nothing, close to nothing, because then that money will be used to be invested back into the brand and in creating resources for the clients. Because the way we really truly like it is to keep it as free as possible and then have some things for money, in which that money would largely be used for improving and expanding the resources of the business, because it is a health and wellness website and a health and wellness community. We want it to be as free as possible, which is why they have a YouTube channel. And that YouTube channel will basically be a way to generate income without having to have the clients have to pay extra. So that is exactly why we went that route in the first place. And so, yeah, we've been doing that, and we've been going through those things, and we're very excited because we just started this month, first time we have this. So now this is the very beginning of an of a pathway to monetization, basically, that can help expand this brand past where it is right now. So it's like super duper exciting. So I may not be getting paid, but the work that I'm helping to do and I'm part of is something I am super glad and grateful to be part of. And it actually has helped me a lot as someone with an autoimmune condition and with the medical system. This brand works in helping people understand and helping people know about their health, ways to improve their health, their wellness, their mental health, and nutrition. As the business partners, the people who create this consortium are certified nutritionists and certified dietitians and chefs, graphic designer, administrator, and they are well skilled in so many different things, and they've decided to create this brand together to do this. So that is something that is really, really cool, really awesome. And I'm super glad to be part of that group. So I may not be making money. I keep saying, because that's something that's a stronghold for me, the fact that I'm not making any money. But I should, I should be grateful that at least that I am part of something. I actually do get to do work, and I do get to upskill and create something because I helped make the website. Did I code it outright? No, I actually use WordPress to make, because it's also for that, so that they can could also make edits if they need to. I've done like about 90+% of it, but WordPress is easier than straight out coding. I can code. I do know some HTML and CSS. Just a tad bit of JavaScript. I need to learn much more though. The main languages for me is actually Python and C Sharp. And out of between those two, it's really Python. But yeah, I've learned Python, C Sharp, HTML, CSS, a little bit of JavaScript, and then I even tried to do Kivy. I didn't actually get into that yet, but I'm gonna go back to it. And I just reintroduced myself to Figma since I've already built a website. Now I can do some more um, brainstorming, trying to do wireframing and try to actually create more projects. So that's something I'm doing right now. In the meantime, while I'm looking for work or paid work. And apart from this YouTube channel, which this is more like a blog, and it's just like a way to just talk and just share my thoughts. And if something comes out of this, then that would be great. If it doesn't matter, because I'm just grateful and glad to be able to talk, just to talk. And for those who want to listen, you guys can hear me talk about all the weird stuff I think about, or the weird, and listen to my weirdness in general. And just really talk about what I truly think. I do feel extra weird. I've always felt weird since middle school about myself. And I could never really pinpoint what it was. I mean, I have some vocabulary for it. I have someone who's diagnosed with major depression, depressive disorder, and anxiety. And although I'm doing so much better, I've even stopped. I've even forgotten to take a medicine 2 days in a row, which is probably not a good idea. But I was actually doing pretty great. It was almost like as if I was on it, but I wasn't. I've been doing so much better and my coping mechanisms are actually healthy habits. I'm actually back in, as I said before, drawing and listening to music, exercising, stuff like that. It helped a lot. And also accepting my situation, accepting that there's certain things that cannot change. I am someone who is a kind of a control freak, and a control freak in terms of my own personal outcomes. And then when things would happen that wasn't my control and I messed up, I would become really depressed. Because why? Because I'm thinking, Catherine, why the heck did you mess up? Why did you do that? Why did you procrastinate? Why were you lazy? Or if I did work hard, but I still messed up, or I still got something wrong, or something still didn't work out, even when I did work hard, what did you do? What did you miss? And then when I found out what I missed, I become even more depressed and more shamed because how did I miss it? As if I'm supposed to be perfect. As if I'm better than anyone else. I'm no better than nobody else. Excuse me, I'm stuttering now. That's another thing that's weird about me. I also stutter a lot. I can't stand it. I spent 2 years of speech therapy when I was younger, which actually improved it a lot because it probably would have been much worse. My goodness. I also talk fast too. Still need to work on that too. And so these things are things that I just accepted them and just accepted that these are some weaknesses that I have that I just need to work on. And I've also been taught with help with therapists and trusted adults, and even the internet and YouTube. The social media and YouTube can have a whole lot of trash. They can also but it also has a whole lot of treasure as well. There's a whole lot of things that are depressing and sad and shallow and fake, but there's also a lot of things of substance, great information, and things that have been transformative for me through YouTube and social media, which is why I'm glad that I've learned to change my algorithm and to curate it in a way that is not as damaging as it was before. And then now it's actually supportive. I'm actually focusing on things that are actually helpful and educational. And not that I didn't before, it's just I was looking at a whole lot more nonsense before and entertainment, as opposed to now I'm more focused on the educational and the more helpful things that have actually been pretty vital to some of my healing in the past few months. So that's been really great. And so I'm thankful for technology, thankful for these tools that we can use to better ourselves as people. Especially I realize that there's certain people who don't have access to certain resources that cost a lot of money. But some people have been able to get to where they wanted to go because of platforms like YouTube and some platforms like social media. So I'm thankful for that, and I am also trying to take advantage of that as well. And not just for me, but maybe even, but not, I shouldn't even say maybe, because really this whole thing would not be worth it if it wasn't a benefit for someone else. I do use this as an outlet for me, but I really do hope and pray that this could be helpful for many other people as well. And even if I may be young at 23, someone who's been taking extra, 23 is struggling to get through college. I'm like literally about 75% done, and I don't even know if I pay for. I've lost my financial aid because of my GPA is literally 0.07 too low for the cutoff. 0.07. I just need like 1A to fix that, and I didn't do it. I got sick and literally missed classes because I was basically had to be bedridden this semester. So that really stunk. And and one other class is just incomplete. That's really it. They're allowing me to finish, so that's a class in which could help with the GPA, but yeah, that just really sucks. I used to do really well in school, and then in college, I actually started with very great. Really good to start in college, and then I went downhill from there. It went from procrastination, laziness, then it went into I wasn't actually lazy. I was actually well, in a way, how was it? I worked really hard on my job, and then did not prioritize my schooling, and was lazy with schooling. And then when I started to go back, I started to reprioritize education. I was still at the job, so I was working a whole lot of hours for someone who was in full time schooling. Did have to pay for school out of pocket for a point. Then I earned back the financial aid, and then I got really sick, had a mental breakdown, and had to take a break. Which is why I don't have a job right anymore. And it ended my 3.5 year employment because I chose to quit for my health and for my school. So, yeah, it was very interesting. But other than that, I have learned a lot. I've gone through many different things, and I'm just glad that I'm alive. I'm doing much better. And I just need to know it's going to take a moment to figure out what to do. And hopefully, despite all the things I'm worried about, because I'm worried about a whole lot, I hope to become a better person. I hope to improve. I hope to be able to get to a point in which not only that I can help myself, but also help my family out, help my siblings out. And I'm just going off a tangent from what I first started talking about. But yeah, that's what's been on my mind and what I've been thinking about. And I hope to learn from these things, and also not be too worried about them. Thank you guys for listening. And this is just listening to me yap. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.